Hello and welcome back to Quantum Suicide. On the last episode, well, unfortunately we lost a member and it was the end of the first round. We tried to sacrifice ourselves but got tricked somehow by Sora, the mother of Melody, the wife of Vladimir, and the navigations officer. Or yeah, I'm assuming she was navigation because we said that she taught her skills to the girl. I forgot her name, but she was the communications officer as well. So yes, now I came in and said that she was at fault, just as we were feeling the same. That it was our fault, and so now we're just bonding over how we were blaming ourselves. So yeah, I guess it's time to find out where this goes. Her eyes reflected the sadness that I've never thought a computer program would be capable of feeling. What? No, it isn't. If anyone is to blame, it would be me.
My records are quite complete. Throughout human history, many cases have come before the courts in which a person committed a crime but chose to plead insanity, asserting that they were not themselves when they inflicted harm on others.
Does this mean you're planning to do the same, or that the fact that you could do the same, but you're choosing not to? Yeah, but...
I have footage of people killing others, people who claim they weren't responsible after the fact. Yet these video records confirm, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that the accused were, in fact, the culprits. They have not been altered in any way. It was that person.
So you're... Okay, so I think I's claiming the fact that there's no pleading insanity. People just don't want responsibility. Aye, this isn't like that.
Why isn't it? It is my programming that is killing my friends, killing my family.
Yes, but you didn't make your programming.
I watch you die like you would watch a film. I just watched one of my friends burn through my eyes as a result of my actions.
Through your eyes?
It is my programming. In essence, what makes me, me. So why can't I control it? Why is it conflicted?
Multiple personality disorder, I guess. Or dissociative identity, which depends on how you want to call it. Do you want your friends to die?
Of course not.
Then it's not you, I guess, is what we're going to say. Look at me. I raised her head to look at me. If she didn't glow like a star in the night sky, you would have no way of knowing that this face wasn't human. Her eyes glistened, betraying that she was about to cry. This has never been your fault, and never will be. Then how is it our fault? What is this flip-flopping blame? No, I don't want to hear it. You have no control over your programming. You didn't write that code, nor set up its structure. Asking you to control it, asking you to control that is like asking you to grow my hair out red instead of grey. Okay. I can't change it, and neither can you. Sure, I can dye it and try and hide the grey, but in a genetic sense, it's still grey.
I suppose you are right.
We always are, because we're the protagonist, except when we're wrong for the plot. However, this does give me an idea. I looked at me for the first time with a hopeful smile. Could an AI feel hope? I honestly didn't know, but her current demeanor was any indication. It certainly could.
What is it?
Hear me out. I may not be able to genetically change the fact that I have grey hair, but locating which a gene in my genetic map causes me to have grey hair is a whole other matter.
I don't think I understand your idea.
We're going to find the piece of code that D.A.I lives in, I think, and then we'll delete it. Of course, why didn't I think about this before? I give me a quizzical look, tilting her head slightly to one side. To say that I have grey hair is one thing, but understanding how and why I have grey hair is another thing entirely. Do you have access to your programming?
Of course I do. However, I cannot alter anything.
But we can, right? No, of course not. You were designed with service in mind, programmed to serve at the administrator's behest.
Indeed. I am the Artificial Intelligence Unit Everett, model number 11037. I was created for the sole purpose of conducting activities aboard the Everett.
Is that a Danganronpa joke? Or reference? Eyes, took on a distant, glassy look as she rattled off her service history.
First served under Captain Ayumu Yukimori, now deceased. Currently serving under Commanding Officer Captain Kimiko Yukimori.
Okay, what about Ayumu? Are they the person who put this in? Yes, of course, because they're the captain, so they're the administrator. And they were the first. Well, we don't know. Yeah, because we don't know if it's the first or if it was after that. But still, the real question is: can you access your programming without D.A.I knowing?
I
Does she know? We can ask. Is there a way for you to find out?
I am not sure what her capabilities are.
Okay. Do you think you could try and find out?
How do you suggest I proceed?
Don't make this a choice. For now, try to locate her particular programming within the A.I system. Just tell me when you find it, and I'll see what I can do.
Very well.
Be the way in. If I can access her programming, I should be able to delete it, or at least at the very least disable it. Thank you, I.
I haven't completed the task yet.
Yes, you haven't. Get to work then, I guess. I don't know, I feel like explaining how saying thank you would work to an AI would not go well. No, I mean, for coming and seeing me, I don't even know how I was going to get up and face the day, but now we might actually be able to fix this, perhaps even prevent any more crew members from going to their deaths. And that's all thanks to you, I. That's weird. That only works as D.A.I, I think. I's face lit up with a smile. For the first time since the execution, she looked like the AI I'd first met a week ago. Her smile washed over me, and I felt happier than I thought possible. Given the circumstances, everything was going to be okay. I was going to make sure of it.
Well, I have duties to attend to before breakfast.
Unfortunate. I bowed and left as quickly as she came. Even though my eyes were heavy, my body left sluggish, there was still no way I could sleep. Enough wallowing in self-pity. Being sad isn't going to bring Sora back. I'd promised to fix this, to save her family and the mission. The day had to start, and I was already burning daylight. I jumped out of bed, energized by my renewed resolve. Time to get moving. Nothing gets the day started like a snack, fresh air, a hot shower. A hot shower. Go for it. As my mother was one to say, I'm assuming. There's nothing quite like a hot shower to start the day, as cold one to end it. I couldn't wrap my head around the sheer luxury of baths aboard the Everett. Having lived on a small shuttle with my parents my whole life, we'd had access to basic shower and nothing like this. And yet, regardless of the unnecessary extravagance, I felt at ease here. If people could make a bath this wonderful on a spaceship, I would have loved to indulge in one on Earth back in its prime.
What prey walks unknowingly into my
This is a
den?
unisex thing, because you just seem to walk in. Because I thought we'd be separated to male and female. I swear to science, Beatrix. How do you move so quietly? You always manage to stall me.
It's a family trait. Both my brother and I inherited from our beautiful mother. She was able to move more quietly than I could ever hope to. Our father used to say that she slunk gracefully.
To slunk? Really, it's a family trait. I've never really saw Nicholas as the type of person who would stalk people.
Trust me, the only reason you ever notice his presence is because he allows you to.
I should keep that noted, because I feel like if anything happens to Beatrix, then Nicholas is going to be a psychopath. Beatrix threw me a wink. A strange family trait. Come to think of it, I didn't inherit anything from my parents except grey hair, I'm assuming. Well, I inherited my, grey hair. It's the only thing we know about the character besides the one image we saw ourselves of. Well, I inherited my parents' hair colour.
You're
Cool,
cute,
thanks.
Sailor. Oh, it's a good thing you're here.
About
I needed
what?
to talk to you.
What about?
Well, I don't know if you realize this or not, but my brother and I kind of lied to
Okay,
you about our
so
numbers.
yeah, because I only saw Melody and the captain's and Yoshiki's numbers. I didn't even notice their own. Had they lied to me about their? Had they lied to? Yeah. Now that you mention it, there was something fishy about yesterday's results. Wait, so you tried to kill me?
Well, yeah, but
I only tried to kill you a little bit. Clearly. What the hell? Yeah, why the hell?
What? I didn't do anything
It's true.
wrong.
Technically, we tried to kill ourselves as well, so we can't really blame them. I tried to say killing me definitely qualifies.
I prefer to look at it as trying to save my brother from a murderous AI system that you somehow triggered.
Yeah, that's fair. Do you really think that justifies your actions? Beatrix's mischievous expression hardened to a monstrous grimace. Beatrix's eyes twitched, noticeably as she approached, her gaze suddenly transforming into a terrifying, intense glare. She was clearly not going to let me leave her side anytime soon.
I lost my father less than 2 weeks ago. I wasn't about to lose my
Yeah,
brother, too.
that's fair. Although Beatrix wore an angry... Although Beatrix wore her anger plainly on her face, I could sense an undercut of sadness behind her abrasive facade. I'm sorry. Beatrix was taken aback by my response. She may have expected me to argue or hurl accusations at her, but never to sympathise with her. To be honest, I probably would have done the same thing if I were in her shoes. Of course, I would want to protect the ones I loved. I would have done the same thing if I were you.
Really?
Always.
Hair color.
Beatrix giggled to herself, muttering about hair colour before turning her attention back to me.
So, what brings you here this morning?
To get clean, I guess. Right? Or, well, that and to energise myself for the day. I know this may blow your mind, but I shower. Whoa. I felt myself cringe as I finished the sentence. Beatrix looked intensely at me. It didn't look like she'd taken my sassy comment too well.
I think the sexiest thing about a person is their sense
Good
of
thing I
humor.
don't have one.
Keep up the good work, sailor.
I don't know what you're talking about. We don't have one. I will. Now, if you'll excuse me, I would love to shower.
Don't let me being here stop you.
Going to let that stop me. Beatrix didn't move an inch. She stood there, staring at me, as if waiting for something to happen, or to begin. I'm not showering in front of you, now get out.
Sheesh, someone's a killjoy. If you change your mind about an audience, I'll be in the medical bay.
This has been the weirdest conversation so far. We got into an argument for like 2 seconds, and now this topic's happening. Okay, sure, thanks. Beatrix left the bath and I could finally shower in peace. I turned the shower on and faced the shower head face on. Okay. Now I feel like Nicholas is just in the corner of the room. We've not noticed him yet because, again, we only notice when he wants to be noticed. The water stung as it hit my face before trickling down my chin. After just a few minutes alone, I found myself wishing that she was still here, making blatant advances and comments laced with sexual innuendo. As soon as I was left to my own thoughts, my mind started to wander back to yesterday's execution. I finished my shower quickly to avoid being alone any longer than I had to. I jumped out of the shower and headed back to my room. I entered my room and pulled out my toiletries away. No use taking them to breakfast. Why not? We can brush our teeth before and after eating. I made my way into the dining hall. As I entered, I was greeted by a familiar face, I was greeted by familiar faces. You know, the only other people on this ship. Some of which would seem a little more haggard than yesterday. Their sunken eyes and pale skin betrayed their psychological distress. And then there was Shizuka, who looked hungry. As I looked around, I noticed that all 8 crew members, aside from myself, were already here, including an understandably devastated Melody. Even I was present. Had I arrived late? I'm so sorry I'm late.
You aren't late. In fact, you're early.
The captain's stern exterior was broken ever so slightly by a small smirk on the left side of her face, as I said I was early. She stood before me for a moment longer, swiveling on the spot to take a head count, looking around, giving a small nod to indicate that she counted everyone as present in her head.
Everyone arrived early today.
I guess we all couldn't sleep. I could hear the concern in her voice. I stood in the corner, quietly making eye contact with the ground.
All right. Well, let's get started.
Did make a sound.
Last night was quite unpleasant, and it's
Unpleasant? Really? Were you watching the same execution we were?
It's very unlikely, but it's possible. The captain ignored Beatrix and kept speaking.
Vladimir and Melody. Losing Sora was incredibly unfortunate, and I can't begin to imagine how this must feel for you. I'm so incredibly sorry. Sora was a strong and caring woman, and will be greatly missed.
Vladimir lifted his head just to meet with Kimiko's eyes as she continued speaking. The events of the previous day had clearly pushed Vladimir to his breaking point. Cradling Melody in his arms, he attempted a weak smile.
Sora made her choice in order for all of us to live. The only reason we're all still alive right now is because of her. We should do everything in our power to stop the Deletion Game and continue the mission.
The captain is right. The 8 of us are still here. It would behoove us to try and find a way out of this mess. I'm sure that we can do it if we put our heads
the
together.
9 of us. The morale of the room was swiftly increasing. Yoshiki stood up triumphantly.
Sora wouldn't want us to be sad. She'd want us to be happy. We should all do
Yes,
our
listen
best.
to the child. The man-child. Vladimir clung tightly to Melody before speaking.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
all.
you can do it, man.
If there's anything we can do, Vladimir, please let us know.
Captain and Vladimir exchanged fragile smiles before being interrupted.
I have something for you, Capitan.
Oh no! It's not the good one. D.A.I. D.A.I appeared next to the chair Vladimir was sitting in, bending forward towards Kimiko while pointing at herself gleefully. Without making a sound, Melody tightened her grip around her father. She did say it would start immediately in the next day.
D.A.I, can't we have a moment without you?
Apparently not.
Ouch, Captain. And I thought we were friends.
Well, we're half friends. We're friends with I, but you're not I, you're D.A.I.
If you aren't going to leave, get on with it.
Well, someone's definitely not getting a Christmas card this year.
Is it Yoshiki?
What do you want, Die?
Oh, good morning, Beatrix. I didn't see you
Kinda hard
there.
not to.
Anyway, enough chit-chat. This isn't a mother's club. I'm not here for hot goss. I'm here to announce the next round of the Deletion Game.
Oh, okay.
Can't we have at least a day to mourn our dead before being forced to play another round?
You could, but
I'm gonna guess, but no.
But what?
I don't want to wait. Besides, it would only make it more difficult for you all with less time to play.
Isn't that just more fun for you then?
Yoshiki, drumroll please.
What? Why?
Yoshiki, you enjoy living, right?
You don't know that. He could lose this round. Yoshiki complied with a request, doing his best impression of a drum roll.
Welcome to the Deletion Games. Round 3, Logiship.
Okay. Logiship. Logiship is played with 9 players. Each person is represented by a ship. Each ship has 2 health points. These ships will be placed next to each other in a row, numbered 1 through 9, left to right. No one will be told which ship belongs to which player, including their own. Instead, you'll each receive one clue, 9 in total. In order to figure out where everyone's ship is located, you will need all 9 clues. Sharing is allowed. Each person will receive one torpedo and choose which ship to fire at. First player whose ship receives 2 torpedoes attacks will be eliminated. Try not to shoot yourself. Good luck. Cool. So it is possible to shoot ourselves. This seems like fun.
In this game, you will each be represented by a ship with
It's
2 health points.
It's 9-player battleship, and we've all got the smaller ship.
These ships will be placed next to each other in a row, numbered 1 to 9 from
Can we
left
shoot?
to right.
Does it matter which number we pick to shoot at? Regardless if, for example, if we're number 2 and we shoot at number 7, will we end up automatically shooting number 3?
Each person will receive 1 torpedo and will choose which ship to fire at, choosing a number between 1 and 9.
Because again, that would mean 1 and 8 only have one choice. That would be 2 and 7 respectively.
The first player whose ship receives 2 torpedo attacks will be eliminated.
No, sorry, 1 and 9. But yeah, that also means we can all theoretically survive this one if we all receive 1 hit each.
Here's the kicker, though. None of you will be told which ship belongs to which player, including
all we have to
your
do is all
own.
9 of us to say, okay, Captain shoots number 1, Yoshiki shoots number 2, Melody shoots number 3, Vladimir shoots number 4, we shoot number 5, and so on. And then we, Nicholas shoots number 6, Beatrix number 7, Shizuka number 8, and the chef number 9. Therefore, everyone gets 1. Problem solved. I mean, this sharing is allowed, so we can just make this plan. Here's the kicker, though. None of you will be told which... Yeah.
You will each receive 1 clue, 9 in total. In order to figure out where everyone's ship is located, you will need all
So
9
it doesn't matter. We don't need all 9 clues.
As was the case in the last round, sharing information will be allowed. Time to be super friendly with each other. Or not. I mean, one of you still
What
has
happens
to
if...
die after all.
yeah. What happens if we just... What happens if we all tie?
It's days like this I thank science
I also
for my
like
job.
the saying thanks science. I mean...
Ahem. Anyway, if you shoot blindly...
I'm not saying that just to, put doubt on religion. I'm just saying... I find it like a thing that they all do.
You might kill yourself! Wouldn't that be hilarious? Mark your calendars, folks. You'll be shooting your torpedoes on Sunday between the hours of 4
You only have an
p.m.
hour.
and 5 p.m. It couldn't be simpler. Just enter the dining hall one at a time and fire away. After 5 p.m., I'll announce the results and weekly festivities will begin. The first player to receive 2 torpedo attacks will be declared the loser, even if more than 1 player receives 2 missile strikes. I am giving you an hour, so no excuses. Get your shots
Yeah, so all
in
it takes
early,
is
okay?
all it takes is the twins just to say, okay, let's go for number 2, regardless if that's who they are. I'm assuming they would clarify that's not their own ship first, but then again, that's 2 out of 9. I doubt they would manage to find their own ships. But those 2 could just teamwork and go first. Be a team and go first.
One last thing. In the unlikely event that every single person attacks each other exactly once, we'll have a second round. So please try to finish someone off quickly, okay?
I mean, if there's a second round, we just do the same thing again.
So to review, you will each be represented by a ship numbered between 1 and 9 with 2 health points apiece. Each player will receive 1 missile to fire, and the first player whose ship is hit twice will be eliminated. You won't know which ship belongs to which person, but you'll each be given a clue that you're free to share with other players.
Yeah, makes sense.
Everyone got it?
Yeah, we got it.
Wonderful! Now I'll provide each of you with your clue. To ensure there is no cheating, I'm going to have to ask you all to return to your quarters for now. I'll visit each one of you individually with your information. That's right, I make house calls
Hooray!
now.
Di winked at us, mischievously poking her puffed cheek, attempting to be cute.
Is this really necessary?
I mean, we are here early, so we don't really miss out on breakfast.
Afraid so, Captain. Just remember, as the onboard AI, I know where you are at all times. So if anyone has the bright idea to leave their quarters before I give the all clear, they'll be disqualified and face immediate elimination. All right, people, stop dawdling. Mommy Di is grounding you all for not doing your homework.
Everyone got up slowly from the table, as if in a daze. The morale was incredibly, the morale that was increasing moments ago was already shattered as Melody cries pierced the air. Vladimir carried her out, hugging her tightly enough that he was able to muffle most of her screams. The rest of us followed into the hallway and made our way back to our respective rooms. I arrived at my room and sat on the end of my bed. You gotta be kidding me, Di. Sora hadn't even been dead for 24 hours, and here we were again. I had to put a stop to this as soon as possible. I only had to wait a few minutes before Di appeared before me.
Yahoo! Sorry to keep you waiting.
I really wasn't waiting that long.
So polite. It'll really suck when I have to kill you.
Yes. So, why don't we do that first? Thank you.
I'm here to give you your clue, and I'm not going to repeat myself, so make sure you're listening.
Okay.
Melody is to the right of Beatrix, and to the left of Katashi.
Okay, so Katashi, Beatrix. No, Katashi, Melody. Katashi, Melody, Beatrix. That's... Okay, got it, thank you. Yes.
Any questions?
Well, okay, so Melody is either 2 through to 8. Can't be 1 or can't be 9. Why do you have to kill people?
Whoa, going for deep and meaningful questions without even buying me
Do
dinner
you eat food?
first? You were so polite to me beforehand, so I guess I'll humor you this time. In 2099, unexpected orbital debris from a previous mission caused extensive damage to the ship. At that time, we lost a vast quantity of resources. After assessing the damage, the AI system determined that their current resources would not be able to sustain the crew through to the end of the mission. Having confirmed this, she went ahead and informed the captain.
Then what?
Well, long story short, the captain made me, and now here we are.
Okay, so then it was the captain. It was Kimiko's parent, ancestor. I don't know how long ago it was, but that's the reason why. But I don't get why it has to be through a death game. Why is it activated now? I feel like you just skipped over the most important part of the story.
Sorry, honey, but you're going home from this date disappointed. Well, I'm off. A certain captain is waiting
Okay, so the
for
captain
me.
was told after us. Alright, thanks, Di.
Huh? I mean, toodles.
With a childish wave, Di faded out of existence, leaving me alone in my room. At this rate, I wasn't sure how much longer I would be able to hold my own sanity. No, I just had to sit here and wait for the okay from Di to be allowed to leave. I decided to lie down for a second and rest my eyes. I woke roughly an hour later to Di's voice over the ship's intercom system.
right, friends. I've done my rounds. All house calls are complete. You're free to go about your day as usual. Well, until Sunday, that is.
It took you an hour to talk to 9 people. D.A.I definitely knew how to push everyone's buttons. I really wish she told me more about the damage to the ship, though. Now wasn't the time to daydream. The current round of the Deletion Game had already started less than 24 hours ago after Sora's death. I needed to check up on a few things. Check out the captain, Vladimir and Melody. You know what? I'll save this for next time. Thank you for stopping by. Hopefully you had fun. And I'll see you on the next one. With that, goodbye.